Marky. Can't be Johnny. Marky, yeah.
Nos encontramos en el barrio Palermo junto a CJ Ramone, aquí 2 días antes de lo que va a ser su nueva visita, su nueva presentación en Buenos Aires, lo que va a ser en Palermo Club el sábado 11 de noviembre. Y vamos a hablar un poquito, a ver, de cómo está, cómo se siente, ya que, bueno, este año sacó un nuevo disco que se llama American Beauty. First of all, CJ, thank you for this time again. This year you released American Beauty. Yeah, it's your third solo album. So, how do you feel after this month that the album was released?
This album more than the first. Of course, the first two I really love for what they are. But this is the album I feel like everything that I learned and everything that I was trying to do really came together on. I think my songwriting got a lot better. Although it's not definite, I'm planning on going into the studio in March to do a new one.
That's fast.
Yeah. Well, that's how it used to be. Bands used to put out a record every year, you know. It's just since probably like the 90s when they started to put out a record and then tour for 3 years and put out a record and tour for 3 years. I'm coming up close to thinking about retirement, so I'm trying to get as many records in as I can before I do. I've got 3 records out. If I record another one in March, that'll be 4. I would like to get at least 1 more record out after that. I'd like to retire with 5 records at least, and then do a live record and maybe a documentary and then the book. So I'm trying to manage it in a timely way. A lot of people run out of time. Like look at Joey. You know, Joey dying. That really, the Ramones had plans for a reunion tour. You know, and just took a little bit too much time, and we lost Joey. So that was the end of that. And I don't want something like that to happen. So I'm really trying to manage my time and make sure I get to everything, and I give the fans the best stuff that I have. I felt like the Ramones in the 80s, they put out a lot of mediocre records like that were just like, you could take like those 3 or 4 records from that era and pick the best songs off of them and make one really great record. You know, there was a lot of filler. I don't want to get into that.
Early on this year, you came here, you played, how it was? You played with Richie to commemorate the first Ramone show in Buenos Aires. How do you feel to play with Richie? How it was?
It was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to play with Richie. I always thought Richie was a great drummer. In fact, I even tried to get him to play on the second album from my band Los Gusanos. Yeah. I contacted him, but he hadn't played drums in a good long time, and he was like, I just don't think I could do it. Of course, now he sounds great. But yeah, the fans loved it. The show went great. We had a great time. I got to spend some time and hang out with Richie. And I think at this point, I might be one of 2 people to have played with everyone that ever played in the Ramones, because I played with all 4 drummers, including Clem Burke. I played with Dee Dee in the Remains, and I played with Johnny and Joey.
Talking about just a little bit about your work with the Ramones and your visits around here since '91, right? Did the guys told you anything before coming down?
No, nobody told me anything. I didn't know what to expect. In fact, the first time we came, we got to the hotel, I dropped my bag, I went down to the lobby, and I went out for a walk in the neighborhood. And I was walking around, and I started to notice people following me. And being from New York, I immediately thought they were going to rob me. So I stopped in a store to buy a knife while they were following me. And then we got close to the hotel, and 2 security guys from the hotel came over, and they were like, and one of our crew guys, and they were like pulling me in, and all of a sudden I realized there was a big crowd of kids were there for us. I had no idea, and they were like, oh, grabbing at my shirt. I was like, what's going on? I didn't even understand what was going on. I said, I thought I was going to get robbed. They're like, no, those are your fans, you know. So yeah, so it was really interesting, and of course from that point on I understood like that the Ramones in Argentina meant something very different than the Ramones anywhere else.
We're gonna do this little game, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you one situation, one particular situation, and you have to guess what Ramone was. Okay. Back in '96, the band was signing autograph outside of the hotel, but one of the Ramones was outside. And when he wanted to get in, the security didn't let him because they thought he was a fan. He got so pissed off that finally, once he got in, he told one of you to fuck off.
It had to be Dee Dee.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Algunos de esos fans luego esperaron largas horas en la puerta del hotel en que se hospedó el grupo para conseguir, aunque más no fuera, el último autógrafo. En la muchedumbre, hasta el ex bajista Didi Ramone, quien en estos días vive en Buenos Aires con su novia argentina, pasó desapercibido.
Didi never got treated with respect, and he didn't like that. So, and I agree with him 100%. I mean, if Marky was standing there and saw him, he should have got him in.
Number 2, and this is a quote talking about the Argentinian audience. They are tremendous. Their love is so overwhelming. I don't know what to do. I wish I could do something for them. It's really hard, and I'm gonna miss them all.
Johnny usually doesn't say something that heartfelt. It sounds more like Joey.
Let's see, number 2.
Okay.
You see fans the same everywhere, not here. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's just their love is just so overwhelming. I don't know what to do. I mean, I wish I could do something for them. And it's very hard, and I'm going to miss them all.
It sounded a little bit too heartfelt for Johnny, but yeah, Johnny was a lot more expressive, I think, on how he felt towards the fans. Joey was a lot more quiet, but Johnny understood the importance of the fans and used to say that constantly.
Was a tough guy.
Yeah. He was very disciplined and just very strong-headed.
Number 3. After giving a radio interview, this Ramone go out to the street to find out a huge crowd of fans waiting here, as always, right? Things got out of control, and with all the chaos going around, someone stole a particular item from this Ramone. Then he had to go back to the radio and ask on air for this item back.
Okay, let me think. Somebody from the Ramones was doing an interview at the radio station. Something got stolen.
Yeah.
Marky. Was it Marky?
No, I think not. We don't have the video, I thought. But it was Joey in an interview in, I think, Rock and Pop radio. He go out and one of the fans took off, the sunglasses.
Right, I remember that. I didn't remember that before, but yeah, I remember that, yeah. And believe me, Joey could not see without his glasses. It's more of a safety issue than a you stole something from me issue. I remember there was some issue one time with Mark having something stolen, but that was at the hotel, but it was the only thing I could think of.
This is the last one, yeah? And it's a bizarre one. After a local park was renamed Ramone's Park, this Ramone was invited to the inauguration. He got out of the car, shook a few hands, and suddenly someone handles him a child, which he lifts in his arms like he is the Pope or something like that, while the crowd was chanting, "Hey ho, let's go."
Wow. Okay, so it's a dedication to a park. They're making a park, yeah. Ramone's Park. Wow. Who would have done that? Well, I'm going to say off the back, not Johnny. Could be Mark. Mark would do something goofy like that. Marky. Can't be Johnny. Marky, yeah. That is so funny. Yeah, that's great.
It's a pop punk.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
He did that 1 minute and then he left.
That was it?
That was it.
Wow, I guess security, they were worried about security problems or something. It was really hard for us to go out in public. It really was. We used to joke in the van, like, what do they want from us when they grab it? What do they want from us? You know, we were just amazed. Like, we couldn't figure out what can we do for them to make them happy? What can we do for, you know, like Johnny said in his interview. But it was that we don't get treated like that anywhere else in the world, and that's really what made coming to Argentina special. I mean, the outpouring of emotion, and you know how important everyone made us feel in their own lives. I mean, we didn't get that anywhere else. But that's why you know, that's why we did all the stuff that we did, like try to sign autographs for everybody we possibly could. We really tried to give, you know, make the shows a little bit more special when we were here. We were a little bit more excited for every show. We came here as often as we could, as often as we were invited. It's always been kind of a special relationship.
Thank you so much for this time, for this interview. Esta fue la entrevista con CJ Ramone este sábado 11 de noviembre en Palermo Club. Acá unas cuadritas del hotel. Va a estar tocando y presentando American Beauty. Recuerden, a partir de las 21 horas, entradas por Ticketek. Ya saben, CJ Ramone en Argentina una vez más.